Yo, usually this is where the funnies go, but the writers of this show have gotten pretty lazy, so might I suggest just reading the manga instead? However, as a consolation prize, I brought you this stock image of a leg of ham. Simp hello, deck profile yes. So, as you can see from the title of the video, we are not clickbaiting you. There is no proxies in this post-structure deck agent deck list. We did in fact find the workaround for that, but we can just get right into the deck. I'll kind of explain things where needed. Just kind of go through it card by card. Alright, so to start off the deck list, we have our 3, the Agent of Mystery Earth. This card on normal summon searches an agent. And then if you have the field spell, you can search Hyperion, Master Hyperion, the old one, the light one. But it can't search itself, of course, and it is only a normal level 2 tuner. Of course, this is like your main starter. It's part of your 2-card combo that I will show at the end of the video. So now we're going to get into some of the newer cards. We have our triple Agents of Life Neptune. I will leave these off to the side and I'll put the actual card text, the card for card text off over here. But what the card basically says is you can discard this card and target an agent in your graveyard, and then you special summon it. And then when this card is banished, you can add the Sanctuary in the Sky from your deck to your hand. So that's pretty good, of course, being, having the ability to go from Earth to search this into Almirage, into pitch this and special back Earth to go into, sort of like a Halka 5-Brax sort of line of play is very nice. But yeah, this is going to be one of the most important cards. There's also a lot of other routes that you can do with the Venus as well with this card. It's just fantastic. Definitely something that we needed. It's a bit of recursion, and it does give you the ability to kind of play through some stuff as well, which is definitely nice. Next, we have the new Granddaddy Big Boss monster. This is the Majesty Hyperion. It's the dark version. The stats are reversed, of course, because Konami. But basically what this guy says is you can banish an agent monster from your graveyard, and I think it might be hand or grave. Like I said, the text will be over here. And then you can special summon this guy from your hand, and then you can banish a fairy in your grave, and you can basically DD Crow something from, I think, maybe either graveyard, but definitely your opponent for sure. And then if you have the field spell, you can do it up to twice per turn, just like Hyperion's popping effect. So I'm not actually playing the other Hyperion, just due to the fact that we have the spell, which we'll get to later, that can search this guy, and also we play 3 copies of itself, and we play a Foolish Burial. So effectively we have like, 7 copies of this, plus the ability to go into like a Chaos Ruler play with some lines of play as well to get into this guy. So I felt like this is good for now. Maybe we could play one of the light one as well as just an additional copy of a Hyperion monster, because the combo is Earth plus this guy, or Earth plus Hyperion is how you get into your combo. But the main reason we're playing just this one is because it can summon from grave as well. So when you discard him off Chaos Space, or you like send him to grave with Foolish or something, then we get that value back off of this guy. So I just opted just to play this one. And then we have our 1 copy of the Agent of Creation Venus. Technically, I suppose you could play more of this, but I think that to make the most consistent deck possible, we just need to focus on Earth searching us into our Neptune to search us to like get us into our combo line. Whereas I feel like when you normal summon this card, not only is it just equally as much of a hand trap magnet, I feel like there's a lot less scenarios where you can play out of this card being negated. Because if they negate your Earth, you can still go into Almirage. If you have any sort of like Reborn Extender, or even the Neptune, which is technically a Reborn Extender as well, but I just more or less meant the spell cards. You can go into a Fiber Line or something and, try to make a play, whereas you really don't have that option. And of course, we have the triple Shine Balls to go with it. This, of course, is the main reason why this deck will never, be meta viable, because you have to play Shine Ball. Unfortunately, this card doesn't generate tokens. That would fucking be banned ages ago, but, there's 3 Shine Balls. And whenever the new Venus comes out, the dark one, we will definitely be including 1 copy of that, maybe more, seeing as how it is a bit more of a generic extender. And if you get into your combo, it's just insane. But we're gonna completely ignore that card, because it is completely brand new out of a set that's not even out in Japan yet. So Kind of just opted to ignore that for the deck profile. Next, we got Triple Time Maiden. This is a light, it's a fairy, and it's an extender. It's Cyber Dragon specifically. It's like a Cyber Dragon style extender. If you control a monsters, you can summon this, and then you contribute it, and you can summon a Time Lord, but you can't special summon monsters the turn you activate it or something for like the rest of the turn. That's irrelevant. It's a level 1, it's a light. The main reason that I chose to play this over something like the Pudding Successor is because you can turn this into a Link Hero to get you a Dark in the Grave. That's the main reason why I opted to go for the Time Maiden instead of something like the Pudding Successor. Because there really isn't a lot of fairy extenders. I kind of combed through a lot of stuff, and this seemed to be like the best option for me. And then the other option that we chose for an extender is a little bit more unconventional. But we'll get to that whenever we get there. At least it's less obvious than something like Time Maiden. So we have a small Chaos package here. We have the Chaos Valkyria. This card is a fairy. And then we have the double Chaos Creator. So the reason I'm playing 2 of this is because you want to hit this off of Ruler. And also, if you have combo and this card's in your hand, it's just fucking insane the shit that you can do. This was something that I felt like the deck was missing, was like this sort of like big bomb card that you could do after your sequence resolves to just kind of push you over the edge or help you play through more stuff. So I don't know, this could go to 1 because we are including Chaos Space. In my original profile that I posted on the channel, I played Triple Tactics Talent instead of Chaos Space, but you know, this card definitely does have its problems still, though, being a Thunder. That is kind of potentially problematic because specifically the Hyperion Synchro takes a fairy non-tuner, or I think it might even be a Hyperion monster, but I think it's a fairy non-tuner. Again, I'll include the text of these things on the screen as we get to these cards. But the Chaos Valkyria is something that I felt like the deck was missing. We don't play the baby dragons because they don't actually advance your game state in any way. And I feel like a lot of people are going to think that's insane because those cards effectively just like make make Chaos Space Pot of Greed. But like it really does not net you anything. Like making a spheres, which is technically like, you know, what that would do for you would be make a spheres, just does nothing for this strategy. So I opted to play the Valkyria instead because of the fact that it is a fairy, and the fact that it can dump things for you for a follow-up is very nice as well whenever it's banished, which it can be banished for the DD Crow effect of our Majesty Hyperion. So that there is a bit of synergy there as well. Also the synergy of pitching Majesty Hyperion and searching this because it's a light off of Chaos Space is definitely something that is relevant as well. That was sort of the main draw to this card, was the fact that it was a light target for Chaos Space and it was a fairy, so we could get that extra added value off of our Majesty Hyperion. But yeah, really not much more to say about these. But yeah, that's those guys. Those are some sort of bomb extenders, if you will. Alright, next we have hand traps. We have triple orange because we're playing a fairy deck, and why wouldn't we play triple orange? And then I have actually triple Lancia to go along with it. This, of course, is obviously something that's like a bit more dependent on like whatever the current metagame is, but I opted to like at least test the Lancias right now because of the fact that it is a fairy and it does pair well with the orange lights. However, it could potentially screw you over because you do need to banish things, but it really only on your turn, so I feel like that won't come up a lot. But like I said, the main reason I'm playing it is because it will pair well with our orange light. And then the last hand trap we have is just triple ash because it's just going to cover the most ground. It's the most generic, so we included the ash blossoms here. I feel like we potentially could cut a set of one of these for something like a triple tactics talent or a droplet, but I haven't, or even a cross-out designator, and kind of completely change this whole lineup. But I only have one cross out, I haven't bought my talents yet, and I don't have droplets anymore, so we opted to go with this because these are the cards that I own. And then the last monster is just Plague because it's part of your combo. Alright, so we're moving on to spells. That's actually the rest of the deck is spell cards. So we'll start with the new agent card. This is the Sacred Water of the... I think it's called the Sacred Water of the Sky. Like I said, it'll be on the screen. But basically what the card says is you can search one monster that lists Sanctuary in the Sky from your deck to your hand, and then if you have Sanctuary in the Sky on the field, it has some sort of life gain effect to like count your agent monsters on field and in grave, and then you gain 500 life for each different name. And then the other effect is you can banish this card from grave, and then you can protect a monster that lists Sanctuary in the Sky from destruction by battle. Also, it searches the field spell. That's what it is. When you activate it, you can search the Sanctuary in the Sky or a card that lists Sanctuary in the Sky in its text. So, of course, this is definitely something that we really needed. What I would have liked instead of this, actually, would have just been a field spell that has this exact same effect, but it is always treated as Sanctuary in the Sky in all situations. But, you know, I digress. It's fine. We still have to play the one brick. That is another downfall of the deck as well, that you do have to play the Sanctuary in the Sky. But, you know, this card is fantastic and very welcome in the deck. I feel like it's kind of something that warrants us not needing something like a Pot of Prosperity, which I did play in previous iterations of the deck. So next we have Triple Chaos Space. Of course, it's broken with our small Chaos Engine. Not really a ton to say about Chaos Space. You know, it's just insane. Then we have the Ready Fusions and the Instant Fusion. So this is the less conventional extender that I came up with, just because of the fact that this card exists now. The Alvain, the Essence of Vanity. This is a fairy, it's a dark, it's a tuner. It kind of fills all the roles. Also, it's level 2, which is it fills another role. So this really just fits perfectly in this deck because we are short on darks, and again, fairy, tuner, you know, it kind of just fills all the roles that we needed to. I only play one Alvain right now, and I'm definitely considering bumping it to 2 because we are going so heavy on this package, or maybe just doing something like this instead and figuring out something else. But as of right now, this is what I'm going with, and I've liked it a lot just because it can kind of guarantee that you have that starter plus extender, so that you have like a sort of like a contingency plan for your normal summon Earth play or your normal summon Venus play if that you know, ends up happening. But yeah, I like this so far. This is kind of where I've landed. And the rest of the stuff is sort of more like some all-arounder kind of stuff. We have Reborn and the double Living Fossils. I have a third one of these. I probably would play the third and make the deck 46, because it's 45 right now. I figured that's fine, seeing as how we're playing Shine Balls, and, you know, there's a couple other undesirables like Plague, and we don't really want to draw the Venus either. But, you know, I probably would max out on this because this is, again, something that's very similar to opening the Search Spell and Earth, or opening Earth and Neptune, where it'll kind of facilitate your combo through Disruption. So yeah, this is definitely a solid include. One Foolish Burial, because this is multiple copies of a lot of different cards, and Neptune can make this, you know, sort of like that last missing piece that you needed. Called By, because we're a combo deck, and the last card is the Brick, the Sanctuary in the Sky. Again, something that we just don't really want to draw. Alright, so moving on to the extra deck, we have Almirage, again, part of the combo. Link Spider, you have to play this because you play normal monsters in your deck, unfortunately. And this helps you make, like, Appaloosa with, like, Triple Shine Ball. Link Karibo, again, because Dark and Time Maiden. This is the Guard of the Agent's Moon. So, the Guard of the Agent's Moon says, on Link Summon, you can send a monster that lists Sanctuary in the Sky in its text from deck to grave. This is also something that can help sort of tutor out your Majesty Hyperion and help facilitate your combo, which is another reason why I think we don't need Master Hyperion, because the fact that this specifically dumps, which is kind of huge, because of course the Hyperion can come back from grave. And then the other effect is you can tribute a fairy and destroy a card on the field, and it does something else. Like I said, the text will be on the screen. But yeah, this card is just absolutely perfect. This is everything that we really needed as well. On top of this and the spell, this is just what we really needed for an agent strategy. So yeah, the Guard of the Agent's Moon. Fantastic card. We have one Hulk, one IP. This is something that might come out, but I feel like it's just generic enough where it just will come up, especially with a Unicorn in the extra deck as well. And then we have Appaloosa. This is actually part of our end board. We can make this fairly easily just because of Venus Shine Ball. Access code, again, very similar reasons, just very easy to make in the deck. Herald of the Arclight, Chaotic, whatever, Chaos Ruler. And then we have the Master Flare Hyperion. So this card is honestly just nuts. This is the main reason why I only play one Venus. So what the card says is, on summon, or it might even be once per turn, again, the text will be over here, but you can send a monster from deck or extra deck that lists Sanctuary in the Sky in its text, copy its effect until the end of the turn, and then when a card or effect is activated, you can banish one card on the field. Basically, he's quick effect removal by banishing, and he just copies Venus. So, you know, obviously the play is get this guy out, dump Venus, summon all the Shine Balls, continue progressing your game state from there. And of course, he is an interruption as well. I may be missing an effect on this guy, don't have it pulled up. But again, it will be on the screen for you to read. And then we have a Xenophon for an Exceed to rank it Exceed because of the Chaos Creator. enabling us to make this quite easily. Now here's the thing though, I played this for a while. I feel like Titanic Galaxy is probably better though, because we have Appaloosa, we have this guy as a banish, and we can consistently get out a rank 8 on top of one other card that we'll mention. And I feel like the reason Titanic Galaxy is better is because we have our monster negation through our Appaloosa, and technically this is like removal, so it could be like pseudo monster negation as well. So I feel like what we're definitely lacking in is spell and trap negation, and the 38 can also redirect attacks from your Appaloosa, which can prevent them from doing the whole cheese of get Appaloosa to 16 and then kick into it. So I'm definitely strongly considering that or Zombie-Stein, because Zombie-Stein is sort of in the same vein as like a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. But I don't really like the fact that Zombie-Stein makes you discard a card. We really can't afford to do that in this list, especially when you have to play through Interruption. But yeah, I don't know. The Santa Font is good, but I think Titanic Galaxy is probably the move. I just gotta find mine. It's in bulk, so yeah, that's that. And then the last card is the Alvain, the Essence of Vanity, like I mentioned before. So if I were to cut the IP, it'd probably be for the second one of these. But this is actually a 14 card extra deck, because the 15th card I did not buy in Japanese because it's still $45. The only reason I bought the agent stuff is because I got all of it for like $30. But the last card in the extra deck is actually Baroness de Fleur, which comes out in January, I believe. And the card is an Omni Negate. Once returned, pop a card. Once returned while it's face on the field, when a card effect is activated, negate it. And then during my standby phase, I can put it back in the extra deck, target a 9 or lower in my grave, and summon it. The card's insane. It's very, very easy to make in this deck, just through the ways of Chaos Ruler just being a card. So, and a Chaos Creator, of course, sort of facilitating that as well. But, I digress. So I'll clean this up real quick, and then we will get into a 2-card combo. I'll show you just sort of the standard route with Earth plus access to Hyperion. Alright, so we're just going to do this in the most clean-cut way possible. Earth Hyperion. Again, a lot of different ways you can do this. I'm probably going to make an entire combo video for this deck, showing just multiple different combo lines. But we're going to start with this one. So we're going to normal summon the Earth. We're going to activate the effect, and we're going to go find our Agents of Life Neptune. So we're going to add our Neptune to our hand. We're going to summon our Almirage. So we're going to summon Almirage, and then we will activate Neptune from hand, discarding, targeting Earth and Grave, and special summoning it back to the board. Next, we're going to make Halqifibrax. Yes, I know, very unimpressive. A Crystron Halqifibrax combo line. But this is the best way that I've gotten the deck to function as a combo deck. So, it is what it is. So we're going to summon Plague, and then we're going to activate Hyperion, and we're going to banish Neptune and special summon him. Now we'll activate Neptune, and we'll add the brick. Here we're going to go into our Master Flare Hyperion. So we're going to activate Master Flare Hyperion, of course sending our Agent of Creation, Venus. And you're going to love my balls. We're going to summon a bunch of Shine Balls. So we're going to pay 15. We're going to get out all the Shine Balls. So, this is the main reason why I played this field spell. Otherwise, I just wouldn't bother. We're going to activate Plague. We're going to put the shit right back in the deck. From here, you can make Herald. Then you can make Link Spider. And then you can turn all of these guys into Appaloosa. So you get your Appaloosa for 3, a Banish, and an Omni Negate, plus, the sort of like Floodgate style effect. This is just 2 cards. However, you can roll the dice, and whenever you are here, whenever you're at this point, you make Chaos Ruler. And when you make Chaos Ruler, you can potentially get into your Chaos Creator, or if you already had your Chaos Creator, I would just make Chaos Ruler here. And you can make a lot like beefier end boards as opposed to this. That's when like your Baroness comes out with a rank 8 and an Appaloosa plus this guy. But like I said, I'm going to make another combo video where we kind of go a little more in depth with sort of like different variations of combos and where things can lead off of ruler mills. But that was the Agent deck profile and the quick 2-card combo that will end you with the Appaloosa, Master Flare, and the Herald board. I hope you guys liked the video. We are taking Synchrons to locals this weekend, so look out for that. Good or bad, we're going to make a video on how it went and a deck profile. But like I said, again, be on the lookout for the Synchron stuff, and we're going to make a combo video for this deck, so be on the lookout for that as well. Sorry if this ran on a little long, I just had a lot of stuff to say, and I got to explain the Japanese cards. So, thanks guys. See ya.